That's okay. We are officially live now. What's up, people?
Hey!
Oh my God, y'all. It's our first episode. It's our first episode. What? It's our first episode. We don't have intro music yet, so that was it right there. We want to welcome you all to our first episode of the Queens Takeover. The Queens are taking over. What'd you say?
I said, hey.
The Queens are taking over. We're gonna do a quick check to see, ladies, is it live on your pages yet?
Yep. Hey, Dominique.
All right, we got some people that are tuning in as well as starting to chime in. What's up, Carla?
Hey.
Thank y'all so much. Do us a favor. Share this to your pages.
Pretty please with sugar on top.
Share this to your pages so we can have as many people join our conversation. We want kings, we want queens, we want
everybody.
We want everybody. So please share this to your pages. So since this is our first episode and some of you do not know us, we are going to take a moment to introduce ourselves with a twist. We're going to tell you who we are. We're going to tell you what we do. And then we're going to share with you our favorite self-care moment that we had this past week. So thank you so much. Carla says it's done. Boom, queen. You get a big old hug.
Carla.
Dominique. Hey, Cole. All right, so let's start with you, C. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. And what is your favorite self-care moment of the week?
Hey, people, I am Cierra Pleasant. Awkward. I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised. Have background from Louisiana. Went to school in San Antonio and then went to get my master's at UTMB in Galveston. And I'm an occupational therapist by day, but at night.
Jesus. No. What she is for her man, who, by the way, just says you are hot. We understand that you think she hot. And my big sister says, hello, everyone.
Hey now.
Sis. For those tuning in, please take a moment to share this to your pages. Go ahead, C. Continue.
Yes. What else I was supposed to say? Oh, yeah. I'm married. I've been married to my husband, Mr. Pleasant, for 11 years, going on 12 years.
That part.
And we have a YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, and it's called A Pleasant Love. And we just share love, life, learning how to get through things, and allowing God to guide you through every part of your life. No matter if it's mental illness, no matter if it's a physical disability, whatever it might be, you can get through it. So we share a lot of love there. So go check that out on YouTube and also Instagram, Facebook, and also TikTok. And then what else I'm supposed to say? Oh, my self-care of this past week, right?
Yes. What was your favorite self-care moment this past week?
So this past weekend, on Friday, one of my favorite friends came into town. And we went to an outdoor. Aw, thank you, Lily. Love you. One of my friends came into town this weekend, and we went to an outdoor movie on the roof. Did I say that? And it was in Houston, and it was really really cool.
I've had one of those. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I've never seen. Y'all forgive me, but I never seen the whole movie all the way through. The Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. I never watched it all the way through. That was my first time actually watching it. So that was a very good experience. And so for me, doing that, being a kid again, just getting out with a friend who enjoys my company, I enjoy her company, and we just enjoyed ourselves. So that was my favorite self-care of last week.
Awesome. Go.
What's up?
What you do and what your favorite self-care moment of the week was.
But everybody knows me by coming on POV. I'm everybody's favorite cousin. My name is Nicole. I'm currently in Rockingham, North Carolina. I am a legal assistant. What do I do?
Full-time.
I take care of everybody.
Take care of everybody.
Take care of everybody. I I like to travel. Like, I have a very interesting life, I guess some would say. I like to have fun. I'm a blunt person. I'm new to this platform publicly. All my friends know me as Nikki or Tank, or I'll explain the meaning behind those names another day. But my self-care this week was what I pampered myself.
that
Shut up.
part.
I went and got to really step back and took care of myself. I take care of so many people, and so much that people that rely on me. So I took time for myself finally.
Praise God.
We were so proud of her, y'all, when she told us, because y'all don't understand. Some of y'all can relate. Nicole takes care of everybody, and that's no joke. So I am Nikki Johnson. I'm a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
I'm a
Like
life
good
coach. I'm a 3-time podcaster. I am a housing commissioner, community advocate, motivational speaker. I'm leaving something off. Housing commissioner. So yeah, it's a lot. But my favorite self-care. And I'm also pleased to be here with my sisters. That's what I am. My, my favorite self-care moment of this week happened today. I told someone what I did not have the capacity to do, and that is huge. I was very honest about it was a conversation that was about to be had, and I was working frivolously to get us set up for tonight on top of
Yay.
other stuff. And in that moment, I knew that if that conversation would have taken place, it would have done something in my spirit, took my mind somewhere it didn't need to be, and caused me to have to go through stuff that wasn't needed today. It wasn't necessary. It was not one of those moments. So I actually stopped them with love and said, I don't have the capacity for that conversation today. And we'll handle it another time. And if I tell y'all the power that's in that, if I tell y'all, hey, mama, my mama says, good evening, ladies.
Good evening, Mama. My brother Dale Robinson. That's my brother. He's one of my supporters.
Oh, I didn't see him. Oh, there he is right there. All righty. So yeah, the power in just being honest with where I was and what I could and couldn't do was so empowering, and it allowed me to stay free. It allowed me to stay free. So that was my favorite self-care moment of this week. If you all would like to share your favorite self-care moments down with us in the chat, please do so, and we will definitely read them. Ladies, are we ready?
We're ready.
Yes.
All right, if you're just tuning in, please take a moment and share this to your page so other people can join us in on the conversation. Our first topic, we're going to be talking about Brittany Griner. We all know that Brittany Griner was recently sentenced to 9 years in the Russian prisons for basically having
12 little.
having some cartridges, some vape cartridges. That is so outrageous to even say it, because that is so what here to us. Their rules there, of course, are absolutely different. I want to ask you all, what are your thoughts on her sentencing? Do you think it's too harsh? Like, what are your thoughts around the whole situation, just in general?
Who you want to go first?
You talking? Go ahead, boo.
Of course, I think it's harsh, but I understand that you have to obey their laws. But just looking at it, I just think, of course, I'm gonna give my honest opinion. I think they're just holding her because of the stance that the United States have made towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And like now they're talking about Russia is saying that now they don't want to talk publicly about the discussion
The
of
negotiation, yeah.
of releasing her.
Mm-hmm.
You want the United States to release two terrorists compared to someone that's carrying a vape pen and another teacher that's over there. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think it was all set up or whatever. And I pray that it's not a campaign thing either. It's just to me, it's just crazy. Like, I've been watching it, and I really had to take a step back because you never know. And then, like, now, all of a sudden, all these people are speaking out on it. I mean, people have been speaking out on it, but like LeBron James is really speaking out on it and stuff like that. But if it would have been a top-notch player like LeBron, if they would have captured him, would United States work harder to get him out of that situation?
I love that thought on it. It does feel really politically punished. If I'm gonna be honest, it's really hard, I think, for a lot of us to fathom a vape can get you 9 years. Having cannabis oil that you have a prescription to have. She was not smuggling, pounds and pounds of cocaine.
Right.
It was, and I understand that they have laws, but she did not realize she was breaking a law.
Right.
She didn't realize she packed it. But I think even if she saw that she was packing it just out of habit, like muscle memory. Oh, I got to take my oil with me because she's a WNBA player. She probably stayed in pain. So out of muscle memory, she probably packed it, wasn't thinking nothing about it. And by the time they found it, it was like, okay, to me, and y'all may laugh, it's the equivalent to, we got a lot of comments coming through. We're going to hit y'all just a second. It's the equivalent to, y'all know how you got to go through the metal detectors? So I work a lot with the city. I told y'all what I do. There are buildings we go into, and I have been stopped because they saw a file in my purse. I keep the little mini manicure set in my purse for the moment when you snag you and need to clip it. I don't be thinking about that little, it's in there. I grab my stuff and I go, forgetting I got to go through metal detectors. So by the time they stop me and they want to pat everything down and throw everything on the desk, I'm like, oh, dang, I forgot it. I think that's kind of how it was with her. And because of that, even though she had a doctor's note, 9 years, 9 years. So we're going to get to your comment in just a second. See, let's hit some of these real quick. You want to hit on Cierra?
Carla, in my opinion, the sentencing was harsh. I think it's bigger than just a sentence. It's a power move, etc. There's so much we don't know. At the same time, we have to be mindful of the rules of other countries for our safety and freedom. Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. It's like if you go on a cruise and they say you can't take X, Y, and Z, or you can't take this amount of this on the, you know what I mean? You have to abide by the rules in different areas. And so this incident makes us all more aware of how we interact with, internationally. When we go into places, it's better to be safe than sorry, because you just never know, especially as I have to bring this into it. She's a Black woman. She's lesbian, she's married. And they also have laws about that too, I discovered. I didn't know they had laws about for LGBT plus. If you are Q, then they have also laws there about that too. So it's like a whole lot of discrimination, I would say, as well, go along with that. And so we just have to be more mindful when navigating this world that we are pawns, we are targets, we got a target on our back for whatever reason. And it's sad that we have to live like that. But as women, Black women especially, we do. And it's just makes us more cautious. And
I have a question.
Hold on, because we got a bunch of comments we got to hit real quick, and then we'll come back. Go ahead. Cierra,
I was having a question. Like, what do you think that?
Hold your question for me 1 second, real quick. So, William says playing politics.
That's what you're doing. Yep.
Carla was agreeing to the point that I made earlier. Political retaliation. This was too harsh, but we need to be aware of other countries' laws too. King says, good evening, Queens. Hey, King.
Hey, King.
It's such a sad situation. Ashley says, hey, Queens. C, go ahead and hit that one. Cole, go ahead and hit that one.
Hey, Ashley.
First of all, she is a co-citizen. She plays for Russia, making dough. She said, hey, assistants of publishers also should have been in place to any changes she may incur. And that's the thing, like, how did y'all leave her?
And she said political for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Nicole.
Like, I have a question. Like, do you agree with Nike? Because Nike was the only company that pulled out their business out of Russia because of this.
I learned.
You know that.
Yes, and I learned that KFC has 900. Like, I take back 900 KFCs in Russia, and they're thinking about pulling out because they are American biz company, but because of the way Russia's playing ball. Because another thing I was mad with the WNBA is because nobody stayed behind. I mean, like agents or anybody, they just left her. Like, she signed a consent form, and she didn't even know what she was signing. Nobody was in place.
If people not having your back was a person, that would have been them. That's crazy. So she done paid you all this money, all this time to be on her team, and when she needed you, you were not there. If you guys are tuning in just now, please be sure to share this to your page. Say something to us in the comments so we can say hello back. Elaine says, "Wow, yeah, I didn't know that." I love the fact that Nike and KFC. You just informed me because I didn't hear that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Nike was the first one to pull out.
That's standing behind your people, and I'm glad that they're doing it because you know you have people that are in politics and not even in politics, but they got position screaming, "Why should we do this for her? Why should we give them what they want for that? Because she's one of your citizens, number one." What she did, in my opinion, you can tell it wasn't intentional, but even if it was, she had a doctor's note. What if she did not know that was the law? Because to me, if you don't put your foot down, then I can go visit somewhere and then you arrest me because I got on sandals. I don't even know that women ain't allowed to show their toes in this place.
Right.
But now you arrested me because I have on a pair of sandals. So you want to know that your country, that you also make money for, that your country got you if something goes down. Excuse me. Sorry.
They were also saying that what if it was Taylor Swift? Do you think they will move? They would. What would they have done?
Look at my whole face.
Okay. Period.
And you brought up a good point. And I don't want it to be LeBron James, but what if it was LeBron James? Somebody that you know is making
buku.
Making you mad money.
Buku.
And you have something to lose by him being there. Right. So let's see. We have Carla saying she didn't smuggle, period. The choice of 30 is straight. Girl, and when they keep saying she it was drug possession, because it was
they kept using that phrase. I'm like, no.
It was a particular ex-president that made the statement she had drugs. She had lots of drugs, and they don't like drugs. I said she did not have no lots
of drugs.
It was.
So what's your stance on Donald Trump coming out saying
that's who I said? That's why I said the ex.
You said ex.
I know.
I like saying his name. I just don't like saying his name. Tiffany said right. I don't. Okay. Steve, what are your final thoughts on this, darling?
I agree with everything everyone has said. I mean, it's just a very, very unfortunate and sad situation, and I hope they're able to make a deal and she comes home sooner. And it's so much that we go through that we shouldn't have to go through, but I hate this for her. I really do.
Yeah. What about you, Cole?
Yeah, my heart go out to her and her family. Even just learning that her wife just passed the bar. Well, took the bar.
Right.
And she said, I did not think that I have to use my degree this soon.
Right.
To get my wife home.
But
that breaks my heart. And then I said, I hope and pray that this is not a campaign scheme. And, please do not let Russia intimidate us. Continue to make a stand, but still get this young lady home.
There you go. Get her home. I love that her wife can now go represent her, because who better?
Who better?
Because other people on your team just left you hanging. My last minute thoughts on it is this. Of everything that we've talked about, I'm in total agreement with. But y'all, we got to give it up to her humility. Every time she spoke, every time she was in front of a camera, her humbleness and her honor of how her parents raised her and the honor of those that she knows is supporting her. You got to give it up to her, because some of us can't stand to be cut off in traffic before we going from 0 to 100. She's in a prison.
Right.
And she has shown so much grace and humility. So those are my last minute thoughts. You just got to give it up to her for that.
Yeah.
All righty. So Nicole got a question for all of us.
Hey.
I need my sisters, my queens, to help me out with this.
Yes.
Why are women so territorial with friendships? Okay, so backstory to this is I have a friend that told me that I could not be friends with another friend because they fell out. And I'm like, I don't understand that as a grown woman, you're making me choose on who I'm friends with.
Yes, we did, Carla.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't even do that with my brother. I mean, I'm so lost, and I need my sisters to explain this to me, because I'm telling you, it gets under my skin because I'm not that person. And and tell me if I'm wrong if I tell them, hey, we don't have to be friends. It's okay. Because the friend that you want me to be, I'm not her. Okay. I'm not territorial.
No.
It's not like I'm going to sit on the couch and talk about you. I'm not going to let her talk about you. And whatever issues y'all have, that's between you all, not me. So I don't, if I wouldn't even say to her, don't put conditions on my friendship. Because I feel like I'm free as a bird. So I need my sisters to help me with that situation.
Okay, before we get to it, we got like all the
they all went off of that.
They going in. Carla with her nuck if you buck. Carla be ready.
Wow.
Carla be ready. She's like, oh snap, y'all went there. This is so good. Oh wow. William is like, forget all that. We are so grown. Elaine says, fully grown women, supposed to be anyway. Lord Jesus, why did we have to choose? Y'all went there. It's childish.
Period.
Because they're not securing themselves.
Come on, Ashley.
And then we got a
Yo.
Oh, we got one more, and then see, you can hit it. It is our inner little girl that has not grown up. Boom.
I'm glad I ain't the only person that go through this.
That is childish. If they are truly your friends, they wouldn't be acting like that. That part. Come on, see, hit us with it.
Yeah. Women, we are very territorial, and it's sad. It really is. It's ridiculous. I've been in this situation. I am in this situation as we speak right now. And people question, like, why are you still like, hey, you worried about the wrong thing. You worried about the wrong thing. Well, I have to explain my, so I was like, she has basically, yes, big time. But if you're securing yourself and you can decipher between each friendship and be able to float and be fluid between them, the two, it is what it is. You can do that. But a lot of women can't do that. They're petty, so petty. And you
yes, Carla.
What she say? I need to share this again.
Right now. So see, Nicole, I told you it wasn't gonna be just you.
No, it's not. It's not. But the territory is like, this is my friend. This is my friend, and it's just like, y'all grow up. Like, if things happen and you notice the errors of that friend's ways and you want to depart, that's your choice. But don't give me an ultimatum of who to choose to be friends with. That's my choice. Let me choose. Yeah. And don't talk about that. It's sad.
That part. Unfortunately, I'm the third person on this panel, and out of I don't know how many people in the audience that has been through that. I'm gonna tell you what I did not like about it. What I don't like about the territorial part is when more than two of y'all are together and it starts to do the click thing.
Yeah.
It starts to section it off and you're kind of leaving people out. Sometimes they don't realize they are, but they are. You can tell when there have been side conversations. If we're all supposed to be friends, why are there those side conversations? But then the moment that some of those who have clicked up get upset with each other, now they become your best friend in the, you know what I mean? Or if they get angry, they want you to understand why they're angry and agree with that. I'm 46 years old. I am not 6. I'm not 4. And it's not the, hey, I'm mad at C, Nicole, so you should be mad at C. No, that's between me and C. Hopefully Nicole is in a friendship and she's like, both of y'all tripping. Let's go sit down and talk. But if you got that type of backbiting behind the scenes stuff, it's going to constantly be mess going, because that one or two people that don't like the closeness that happens, you're my friend. You kick it with her, but you're my friend. And we do need to get away from that. I think innately as females, animals included, we're very territorial.
Very.
Don't you? That woman got whooped by that seal for swimming up to that little seal baby. I don't know if y'all saw that in the news a couple of weeks ago. The seal was just protecting her pup. But the moment she saw that woman swimming toward that pup, she was going in. And that's just how we are, I think, innately. But I think when it comes to friendship, it is so true what the Bible says. You got to show yourself friendly. And if I'm showing myself friendly and I'm being real with you and honest with you, loving with you the same way I'm going to be with C, then it shouldn't be an issue. And if there arises a problem in the group, in the whole crew, in the squad, let's all sit down and talk about it. Don't do no side convos.
That part.
Those side combos go left real
that
quick.
Part.
Those side combos go left real quick.
So,
go ahead.
So, ladies, I got a question.
Woo, we got a lot of comments. Go ahead.
I know. But see, I want to address this for my queens, my sisters on the panel with me, but also with the people in the comments.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a hypothetical question.
We're going to come to y'all comments in a second.
What if you are friends with a married couple, good friends?
Oh, I know where you're going.
And they go their separate ways. What do? Do you continue to be the wife friend or the husband friend or both?
I've had that happen.
Okay.
Hard. I'm going to tell you why it's hard. Because you're friends with both. Like if you meet them at the same time, you're friends
at the same time.
And the one that does the mess up in the relationship, when they start to distance or go with somebody else, he's like, okay, well, you distance yourself. But then they still feel like, but you was my friend first. So, hey, well, what I'm not is luggage. You can't take me with you when you travel. I'm going to be both of y'all's friends. And if it gets to the point where it's so messy for me and I can't handle it, that's when I back away. I'm going to still be y'all friend, but all that fire y'all got going on, I'm not trying to get burned by it. But you can't take me like I'm luggage. You mad, so you're going to go over here and are you going to take me to your new relationship? No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. So, Okay, see, that's going to be on you next, but we got to hit a lot of comments real quick.
Let's go to the comments. Come on.
Okay. She says, facts to call about resharing the episode of the show. Sounds like a trauma response that has nothing to do with you or the other person more than likely. That was to your original question, Nicole. That's so good. That is so good. We are queens beyond this era.
That's right.
Throw some at them. Throw some at Elaine. Give them some grace and some space. I love that.
Yes.
I love that, Brandon. Era as well. You want to hit this one, Sing?
Or the fact they can't hang out with the mutual friend's permission.
I ain't getting no permission to go play with you. I first to play with Nicole. I'm not.
Several feet. Go sit down.
Come on, nephew.
That's Brandon. Some friends cannot be fixed in social situations for this reason. Traumas activate.
Your hubby says, "Oh, thank you so much. Come on and preach. It shouldn't be, but stop now. Yes, preach. You want to hit that one, somebody?
I'm gonna say this: same spirits draw the same spirits. Look within, keep doing self-evaluation. Yes.
Well, you just dropped Mike's Elaine all evening. Yeah, I'm going through that right now.
That's my sister.
See? That's so
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
Oh no, we tried to be friends with both, but didn't work. Wow.
Yep.
Ask God for
That's
this.
what it's on. Yeah.
You want to hit that one? See?
My aunt says from Tiffany, my cousin, as you said, you cannot have them as friends anymore for peace. No, ma'am.
That part. Nicole, want to read that one?
I have been in that situation when I got divorced. My friends didn't continue to my friends. They stayed friends with my ex-husband.
When they got divorced, so they stopped being
Right.
your.
Hold on.
Okay.
In my defense,
And then I'm gonna keep playing thug life for that reason. Come on, thuggin'. All right, what are your final thoughts on this, Nicole? Did you get your answers?
Well, yeah and no.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so the marriage situation I am currently going through, but both of them are my friends. Like, I love her husband as my brother. Whatever situation took place with them, I have nothing to do with that.
Right.
But I can stay mutual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can't stay mutual, that's your problem. That ain't having. But you're not gonna tell me I'm grown. You're not gonna tell me I can't be somebody's friend, or you're not gonna tell me what level of loyalty I have to be on.
Yeah.
Either you're my friend or you're not my friend.
Yeah.
Either I'm your friend or I'm not. It all depends on your definition of a friend. And one thing about Nicole, she will be blunt and tell you what you expect from me. If I can't give it to you, I'm gonna tell you it ain't me.
That part. My final thoughts on this is this. Just be honest with them. I'm both of y'all friends. I don't want to be in the middle of the mess. Y'all have to work out your issues, but your issues with each other are not my issues with the two of you. Go ahead, see. What are your thoughts?
It gets messy with the opposite sex still being friends. That's what Will just said. And he's right. When it comes to married couples and divorce and trying to navigate that, and then it's just a difficult decision, and it just depends. It depends on the scenario and also what separated them too. I think that's another thing, that you have to think about. So yeah, why women are so territorial? Because we crazy. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it together. We are. And being catty and petty and grow up. Just grow up.
And don't be insecure with it.
And that's what pushes it. I think that's what pushes the territorial part, is that you are insecure. You have, and if that friend is not, like my aunt said, like the people that are more alike are going to navigate to one another, and that's just what it is.
Yeah,
it's what it is. But if you still want the friendship with another friend, have that conversation. And people don't want to have uncomfortable conversations.
Right?
They do not want to have those conversations. They're not ready. So if they're not ready, you got to keep it pushing and live your life.
They do not. And here's the thing. It's okay that someone gets along with someone else. Everybody's friendship is not the same.
Right.
You and I may have a real deep spiritual level where we can talk about God and all that stuff. And me and Cole may just have great times together. She brings the laughter out of me. Like, everybody does not have to be the same. One size does not
fit it
all. We're going to go into the next subject. We still got comments coming in on this one. We thank y'all so much for participating. Let them go. When new partners come in the picture, you have a higher level of okay.
Yep.
That is why it's so important to have the safe space of vulnerability in your friendships. That is so real.
So real.
All righty. This is juicy. This was yours.
Hey. We still talking about friendships today, relationships. After COVID, have relationships become internet social only? I had this question because after the pandemic, and still, COVID is still out there. Knowing how to, do we all get tested before we have a gathering? Do we not? everyone's vaccinated. Some people are not vaccinated. How does that work? Respecting people's space and their choices, but at the same time protecting yourself. It's just so many layers to it, just to think about having a gathering or just meeting up with someone. And I think we have forgotten how to befriend one another or have a genuine relationship outside of social media. Just because you see me on social media doesn't mean I'm okay. Just because you see me smiling on social media and posting good things does not mean everything is okay. And so do you really check on your friend, or do you just take social media as face value that they're doing okay? And a lot of people, I don't think, have the capacity to reach each other past what they see on social media.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate, and therefore you lose relationships and friendships. But I'm learning it gives you space to do great things in the meantime. So
who is guilty of this? Who is guilty of this? You ain't heard from somebody. Wait a minute, you haven't heard from somebody, but you see them post on social media. You like, oh, okay, well, they good. They ain't call me, but I see they good. Who is guilty of that? I know I'm guilty of it.
I am.
To your point, Cierra, I think we've gotten so social media connected that we don't have to have actual conversations with each other. We'll go by a post. For instance, now I done text Nicole. I ain't heard back from her yet. I don't know. Nicole could be doing something with her grandma. She could be working. I'm sorry, y'all. This mic is tripping. She could be working. I don't hear nothing. A couple of hours go by, but I see Nicole posted. And she posts something. Let's say she posts the question, why friends so territorial? What's the first thing you think I'm going to do? I'm going to take that personally. So she going to subliminally talk to me through a post. She probably posted it because Cierra posted it and it was a good post. And she just wanted to post it to get people to start thinking and talking. But because we're so social media connected, instead of me calling, if you texted her and you didn't get a hold to her, pick up a phone and call her. Maybe she needs you. And she might be like, girl, I didn't see your text. But I done had a whole scenario conversation in my head based off of what you're doing on social media. And we gotta get away from that. That's one of the reasons why I love this podcast that we're doing. We are showing people that women can get together and talk. We can talk about things that are important. Yeah, we have to do it through social media, but we're still connecting. Oh, we got a whole bunch of guilties. Sexual connection. Brandon is guilty. Thank you. Carla's guilty. Girl, me too. William is guilty. Brandon is. Christina is. One of y'all want to read this one?
Elaine, my aunt Elaine. Society move. We must deal with these situational matters. Authentic relationship will prevail. However, if media is your work socially, this can be taken into a deeper consideration.
Oh, that's deep. You want to let's see. Go ahead.
This is so true. Hand raised, losing old school connections. Yeah.
Okay, Ashley is not guilty. Baby, you are so evolved. We love you. We love you. You want to hit this one, Nicole?
It depends. You have to know your friends. Some post everything they eat. Some don't.
This is true.
Right.
This is true.
And Ashley said, I'll call you in a minute. I'll try my best not to assume, and ask. I love that. I love how evolved you are in that. We are growing. We're going to catch you in that area, Ashley.
I'm going to get on your level.
Especially if you're in a relationship.
Right.
Oh, you can't respond to my text, but you can post and like people's posts. But go ahead. Let's see. It's on you, Nicole, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, like with me, like I post when I post stuff, but my real friends know that I do a lot. I take care of everybody.
Right.
So like when I do post, I'll post, or I might like somebody's picture. That's what makes me so sick when you like somebody's picture. Oh, she's on Facebook liking pictures, but she's not. And then with me, I had to learn how to put myself back in society because I had just felt like really fell off social media, not talking to nobody, not nothing. And then when I popped back up there, it was like, oh, so you can talk to such and such and you can't talk to me. And I'm like, it ain't that. And I had got to the point where I got tired of explaining. So, you have to tell them like, but you didn't call me. You didn't pick up the phone. If you seen that I was not on social media, if you see that I hadn't posted in a couple of days, why haven't you picked up the phone to call to see was I okay?
That part.
Or if, prime example, when my grandmother was in the hospital, I only talked to certain people. And it was like, it was because they reached out to me. You know what I'm saying? And or I could put like the positive post on there and they were like, but you said your grandmother was in the hospital. But that don't mean anything. Like, I'm not depressed that she in there. God is working.
Can God be good?
Yeah, but I've been guilty. I've been real guilty of seeing posts and, oh, you talking about me? But see, one thing my true friends know, that post on my face, that post, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna ask you. Oh, so you can post about me? You could have called me, and they'd be like, Nicole, it's not even about you. I'm like, oh, my bad. Well, girl, who was it about?
That was you,
right?
Right. That's me. I'm like, but girl, who was it about? What happened? But yeah, I'm learning. And Ashley, sweetie, I'm praying that God gets me there with you.
We don't want to look weak.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That was exactly what I was about to say. On both ends, you don't want to look vulnerable. You don't want to look weak. But I think we all need to become a little bit more vulnerable with one another so that we can grow. Like, I don't want to stay stagnant. I don't want to stay the same. I want to grow and be more vulnerable. And it takes humility. It really does. And it takes grace, a lot of grace.
It does.
To really be true friends after this pandemic and really be there for one another. And I think we need to, I guess, recreate how we do relationships, because it comes with more communication. Like, hey, I was exposed to COVID, not I was exposed to COVID. I'm in your face right now. No.
Right.
That's not how we're gonna do that. No. Like, and then
give me my 6 feet.
Right, exactly. Like, and then people try to avoid it. It's just like, no, just be honest. And people don't want to be honest at all. They don't want to be honest because then you think you're being judged and all that stuff that goes with it. But like Carla said, your true friends, they know you. They reach out. They know you. They make sure they keep connected with you. Yeah. And I thank my friends that continue to do that. Because it's a lot of friends that don't.
I think COVID also allowed some people to fake lives. Because you see them post like they're doing so good, and you be like, do you see what's going on in your life right now? Like, you're fake. Like, that's not happening. You're not living the life.
You say that. You're fake. She did not say that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
She said transparency shows your heart is why.
I know for me that green light can be real tricky. That green light that be on with somebody on Facebook or on I forgot what it's excuse me, that can be real.
I hate Messenger. And I hate it.
And I'm gonna tell you why it can be tricky, because it does take, I'm gonna go to what my brother was saying. It does take a lot of vulnerability to be able to say, I feel that you're slighting me. I feel you're ignoring me. I feel it's an issue because I just sent you 2 texts. You ain't responding to me, but you responded to the world, right? And when that darn light is on, that light feels like rejection. That light could feel like somebody ignoring you and don't want to be bothered. I know in relationships, like romantic relationships, that light feel like, oh, you got time for other people but me. So I know we have to get to a place where we are so personally connected that our relationships are not run by a lot of relationships have broken up because of social media. A lot of them have. And so we have to make sure that we are heart to heart connected. I was telling somebody the other day because they were messaging me. We were just messaging back and forth. And I was saying to myself, why won't they just call me? I'm thinking you just might be busy where you can't. But why won't you just call me? And finally they were like, why didn't I just call you? I don't know. But I keep having to stop washing these dishes or stop cooking but you could just call me. But we're so used to that. And I also think we can hide behind these letters that we type, right? We can hide behind them. I don't really have to tell y'all how I feel. I can text it and make you interpret what you think I'm saying. So you can't hold me accountable on what I'm really saying if it make you mad. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, so we got a lot of comments before we go to the next one. Then I'm gonna get y'all final thoughts. Just because you start a green light don't mean I'm available.
He petty.
Man, listen.
Look at that.
Listen. When y'all want to hit that?
For some, socials are an extension of themselves. For others, it is just media or entertainment. You know your people. Yeah.
Right. It builds your strength, Brandon.
The being vulnerable. He said vulnerability is
being vulnerable. Yes. Yeah. She said this. Are y'all enjoying the conversation? Put some hearts. No. Put some crowns down in the comment if y'all. If you're a king, drop a king's crown. If you're a queen, drop a queen's crown. People think that if their green light is on, you are available. It's called boundaries. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, Carla,
we got some good topics tonight.
Carla started something. That's a whole nother level of conversation. You are so correct because you get to have boundaries. Okay, here's a question. Are you allowed to say I don't feel like being bothered to yourself? Yes. To yourself and not be bothered? Because if I'm on social media and I'm seeing what Nicole and Carl and William doing, I'm not really being bothered. I'm not on the phone. I'm not trying to help you with your problems. I could just be relaxing and I don't want to have to personally interact. Is that okay? Is it okay for you to have moments when you just don't really want to be bothered? What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, most definitely. You just don't respond. Or you say, hey, I'm gonna hit you back later. Be respectful about it if you want to. Or it depends on who the person is too. Like if it's someone in your inner circle, you can just tell them, hey, I'm gonna hit you back in about an hour or two. Right now I'm processing something or whatever the case may be. But if it's someone that you don't really have a connection with, just leave it there and respond later. Yeah.
Sometimes if I could have a connection with you, but I might need to tell you just I can't talk right now.
Right.
Or I won't respond to your message right now because I don't know what it is. It seems like the moment you say, oh, I'm gonna go take a break, I'm gonna go lay down, it's the blow up. It's the blow. You ain't blew me up all day. It's the whole blow up. We got a lot of crowns coming through, some yeses in response to what's being said. Say it loud and proud. It's not a pass to be rude though. Now that's true.
Right.
That's true. You don't want to be bothered every day, all the time. I don't apologize for myself.
Come on, husband. You better.
Your husband.
You better.
At him, please.
You better.
Come on, cousin.
Yes.
All right, ladies, let's wrap this one up so we can go on to the next one. What are your final thoughts? See, okay, Nicole.
My final thoughts is, hey, just check on your people.
Right.
I mean, for real, check on your people. But like you said, if you just want to just calm down or whatever, and you decide to go through Facebook, any social media, you don't have to respond to everybody.
That part. Thank you, Christina. Carla said y'all are coming with it tonight. Stay tuned. We gonna come with it every week. Preferably. Thank you so much. Hey, y'all
going down on a Tuesday.
Right? Takeover Tuesday. And they are coming with it too. All right. See, what are your final thoughts, baby?
Check on your strong friends. One.
Oh, please.
Check on your strong friends. All right.
That was a word. Give me a moment. I almost hit a T on that one.
It doesn't require always a phone call. Sometimes it requires just a text message or a message. Say, hey, beautiful, how you been? Miss you. Bada bing, bada boom. If you want to connect further past that, then have a conversation. Life is hard right now. There's a lot of things going on in the world.
Yeah.
And we really need one another. And that's basically why I had that question is like, there's a lot of things going on in the world. And like, how are you processing it? Are you even talking? If you don't have a therapist, who are you talking to? And if you have a therapist, still, who are you talking to?
That part.
Who got your ear? Who can be more positive for you? You know what I mean? So we need one another. And so being vulnerable and saying, reaching out to people that you know have a good heart, reach out. You never know how helpful and freeing it is to just talk to someone.
Yes.
Either via text, FaceTime. That's the thing. We have so much technology. We should be so much closer than we are as humans. Like, we have so many ways to connect that I just feel like we're at a C right now. We ain't at an F, but we at a C.
We got a bit of a C minus thing going on. It's almost a D.
It's almost a D. Yeah, we have all these ways to connect that it's not an excuse. Like, if you don't have time to go sit down with a person, have a virtual date. Like, it's just that simple. People making it so hard. And if you really have a heart to want to get to know somebody or need to catch up and reconnect, it's so many ways to connect. So that's all I have from that question. I'm sorry.
I got to say this. Because when you were talking, I got a whole revelation. We are so caught up with how beautiful and perfect everything looks when we post it that we feel like we have to be perfect to talk to people, because you don't want to tell people about your imperfections, and you don't want to talk to people about what you're really going through. You don't want to tell people where you're feeling weak and you need help. You better stop that.
Stop it.
You better stop feeling like you got to be filter. That's the whole hashtag.
That's the whole word.
You got to be filter ready when it comes to your life and reaching out for help. Nicole said it best, and I love that Jay said, I'm going to do better with checking on my people. If we talked about nothing else that got across to somebody, do better with that. But stop cocooning yourself. Stop being a one person on the island by yourself. Selective. Now, I get it. Sometimes you reach out to people, they're not there for you. Reach out to somebody else.
Keep it pushing.
Reach out to somebody else. And I want to ask y'all right here live, be honest, tell the truth. As your friend, do I reach out to check on y'all enough? Am I asking you? Am I checking in? Am I making sure you're good? Because if I'm not, check me now so I have accountability.
Oh no, you
good. You do your job. We got to do better on our part. You understand? I know I got to do better on my part. You know what I'm saying? I can admit.
I gotta do better. Not just for you, but a lot of people. Because I shut down a lot. And thanks to old Nikki, she's making me involved. Like I do, because it's hard to call some people friends.
And that's another thing. We use that word too loosely. We do. Everybody ain't really your friend.
We do, but can I say this? We may do that, and some people you may not should call. They may need to stay associate. But does that mean you should not be a good friend?
Come on, no. As a Christian,
you should be family friend. So here's my thing, because I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of people in my life. I'll be like, wow, okay. But every time God says to do, or to call, or to check, or they call for prayer, all that goes straight out the window down the street and get lost.
Yeah,
right.
Because it's about them at that moment.
Right.
I'm that strong friend that I would love people to check on more often. If I'm gonna keep it 100, I'm not even. Yes, I am. Dang it.
You gonna cry.
There are moments when y'all don't understand the line of work that I do. I pour from the time I wake up. I pour in my sleep because my phone don't stop. Okay. And because I have the heart that I have for people and to love people and to give, I have to be very protective that I don't let people use it. You can utilize it because it was a gift given to me that I'm supposed to give. But you ain't supposed to take all the gifts from beneath the tree so don't nobody else have none. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, sometimes it's so overwhelming. And when you want to reach out to someone to get that same thing, nobody can be found but Jesus. So I must speak for all the strong friends, all the people that you know are there for you anytime you need them. Can you just step out of your selfishness, step out of you, and just say, let me check on? Because the moment you think, well, they don't need me and there's nothing, I promise you. It's for me, it's the little things. It's someone loving me enough to say, how are you?
Amen.
Are you good? Because if y'all knew how exhausted I was just right now, I'm exhausted. You have no idea the amount of work I'm doing to get my life coaching business up to where it needs to be and all these other things. And we're doing this beautiful podcast, but I'm tired. And I would love, it's the small things. I'm not trying to make this about me, but what I am trying to say for those that did say that they're struggling with it, you would not believe how it's the simple things. We got a lot of comments. I'm gonna have to let y'all read them so I can get it together.
That's good, Nikki. A good point. We have to ask our friends, what do you need? Amen. Yes, I'm working on that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, I'm working on this too, guys. That's Tiffany.
This is what we're not gonna do every week. We ain't be doing this every week, Nick. Go ahead.
You probably busted tears first today.
They are people that come into your life for a season, and you know who your real friends are.
Yeah, that was on point. Yeah. What do you need is so important. Yeah.
Oh, I love you too. I love you too. See?
My God, this resonates with me. My God, sending you love.
Ooh, thank you. Y'all, God is so good. I'm gonna say this to the two of you too.
You welcome.
If you ever thought it wasn't, now we know why.
Yeah.
Y'all know.
Yes.
Thank
For
you
this
so
moment,
much, Christina.
This moment right here.
This moment, because if they knew the story of how we kept pushing this back, and for the
that will be revealed sometime soon, right?
You should.
Yes, you have to. Yes.
Write that down. See, we
Yes,
need
write
to
that down.
maybe
Sis.
on our 10th episode talk about what it took to the road to get here.
My God, my
for
God.
this moment.
All right. Okay. Okay. See, this is yours too. Whew. Let me drink some water. Go ahead, see.
Ooh, love. All right. Will women of substance ever be accepted or celebrated by society? This came from let me see. Right on time, ladies. Yes. This came from what's the woman's name? I see her face. The women that hold a higher standard in their way of being and living, that spread love and light through
Tabitha.
their passion.
Tabitha.
Tabitha Brown. That's it. That was my bag example. Tabitha Brown.
Yeah.
And she's actually is the example of someone who started off with humble beginnings of just doing what God told her to do and living out her dream, and everything she's dreamed of since she was a kid is happening because she's walking in her purpose, right? And she is being celebrated. But what about everybody else who's doing great things for the community, who's working in law enforcement or government, the medical field? I'm in the medical field, and we are on the front lines, literally, with COVID, and we get bare minimum. My cousin works in a hospital. My other cousin works in a hospital. Would you believe that at the beginning of COVID, they did not have them wearing K95 masks in their hospitals? And they're on the front lines. They're the closest people to this disease, and they're not being protected or even celebrated. Sending me a gift card with food, that's just not gonna cut it. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no accolades that I would say that makes you feel appreciated. And I know what type of world or society, new world order, if you will, that we are in, where it's about the money. Who's making the big bucks? Who's doing those things? Those people get celebrated. Or who's shaking a butt? Who looks good better with this butt implant versus that butt implant or breast implant?
That's it.
Like, that's our world because of social media. But I feel like the real people who work every day, I feel like there should be something where those women or men get celebrated. I was saying an example where a male nurse gets so much more celebrated than a female nurse because he's in a role that he usually is not in, right? Or that you usually don't see a male nurse. And so he gets all the accolades. But what about the hardworking woman too? Like, right. And on the totem pole of things, Black women always are forgotten, no matter what role that you play in. And so Viola Davis, that's the woman I was trying to think of. She is just wonderful, but it's taken her to be put in front of the camera so often to be celebrated for who she is and her beauty. Right. And so sanitation workers, exactly, don't get celebrated at all. That's a hard job. Construction work, they don't get celebrated.
And they deal with all the waste.
All of it. And so it just saddens me that, we don't have anything in place where we can celebrate those people, because it's people who work hard need to be celebrated too, not just by their family or their spouses, but in general. I really feel that too.
You bring up a really good point when you said people that are exposing their, themselves, they have plastic surgery, so they're famous or influencers for that, or that are, they popping that thing. They can get celebrated more, but then they also get paid more.
Mm-hmm.
They can get brand deals and sponsorships and all of that for posting things that get celebrated. They get accepted. But somebody that's out there in sanitation dealing with your blood and your poop and your other stuff and all that other waste, or you that work on the front line, or Nicole that's a paralegal and a caretaker, like y'all got to go work 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs,
right?
A bunch of overtime, right? But everyone else can get celebrated via pay and also by the recognition, even though the fame that a lot of these people receive is not the fame that you probably really want, but that's a form of recognition. Right. So I love that you brought that up, and you had told us when we were meeting, you were talking about Tabitha. And so glad to see Tabitha Brown celebrated now. That she's a woman that you don't see her popping nothing. I couldn't tell you what her parts look like because I've never seen them, and she's celebrating her naturalness, celebrating her authenticity, standing in her truth with her hair and everything else. And now she is being celebrated. It would be wonderful to have more women celebrated like that, because that would give not just our girls coming up, but the women that are dealing with low self-esteem, they can say that looks like me. That's the example that I want to be like instead of that. And I'm not judging anybody that's had plastic surgery, but I would rather a young lady love herself, no matter what that looks like, than potentially risk her life. Go ahead, Nicole.
No, I was gonna bring up the point. Even my mind just went to the guy. I don't know if y'all heard about the story that worked at Burger King for 27 years.
Yes.
That man did not miss a day. He did not. He has shown so much humbleness from the gift that they gave him, and it took a rapper to show Burger King how to appreciate. Like that man was like, I got to do what I got to do, take care of my family. And then he said after he gets this GoFundMe money, he was gonna take care of his family, but he was going back to work at Burger King. I said to myself, if this dude, how many times, well, I don't know if it was just me, it might have been just me that thought about, did they go, when they reported that, did they go look at his criminal record just to see if they could find some dirt on him? That's the thing. I didn't. It got like, even this is I can't even think of the child, but she wrote a book. She had to be like 10, little black girl. Like everybody, Brad Pitt, Angelique Jolie, whatever her name is, they started praising her because of the book she wrote. And to way they knocked her, not them, but society knocked her off the pedestal. They went and dug up her parents' history.
Yeah.
That, like, what are you showing this young lady?
What are you showing everybody else?
Yeah.
You're showing them what you value and why. And that is why I love that you brought all that up. That's why we cannot let other things and people and trends decide what our values are going to be for us. I can't let you decide what's pretty today, because what's pretty and fly the last 3 years going to be out of style next week. I let you determine how I live my life and what I think of myself, because what you say is beautiful, what you say is valuable. You understand what I'm saying? So we gotta be, we cannot let media, let media run our minds.
And this is one thing I've always said, that as a Black culture, if we allow media to knock down our culture and we're not there to pick them up and dust them off and put them back up there, because everybody makes a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you learn from your mistake and you do good and you showing like I've changed, or or not even just if I didn't wear a certain outfit that showed my body, like we'll be so like it's crazy that us as Black people will turn against our own people and be like, okay, well, we're on to the next because the next person showed their body. They did what we like. I wish that we would stop being so like it's easy to transform into what society speaks on our life.
We are moldable. We are moldable in the wrong way for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons, yeah.
For the wrong reasons.
Look at Beyonce. Look at her career. Now all of a sudden she got lawsuits. I mean, she's always been getting lawsuits, but now they're saying, "Oh, but you tried something different." Now look, they take a content of her song and say, "Oh, now you're talking about the divorce." So now she's gonna go back in the shell and be like, "Okay, well, I should have never came out then." Like stuff like that. You're showing like, I don't know. It's crazy.
What you just said, I think like, how can I say this? We are hard on ourselves, so therefore we're hard on everyone else.
That's it.
Either internally or externally. Like if you just think about it, like we're our own self-critics. Like we are our own bullies before society can bully us. And so we do what's inside. If you are a bully internally, you're gonna be a bully externally, right? And I think a lot of us, more than I would like to admit, I think we all have we have that in us. Yeah. It's sad. It really is.
It is. We got to celebrate within our own community. We have to elevate and give light and recognize our heroes. Others will not unless it is something in it for them.
Exactly.
That part, hurt people hurt people. Oh, wait a minute. It's the unexplained expectation. My mama says she don't have any sound. Mama, you may have to go out and come back in. Can y'all hear us out there? These are some really, really good thoughts. And I just, my last thought on this would be, don't let anybody mold and shape your mind, your thoughts, definitely how you see yourself. We will look in the mirror because we got fupas and rolls or stretch marks, because we don't have a certain size breast or a certain size butt, because we got some cellulite, whatever it is, we'll look at that and we will tear it down and find nothing beautiful about it. Nothing. But you can go over to another, like what they call third world countries, when them people think you are the best thing ever, because they don't have all the influences that we have telling them what is and what is not beautiful. And I would say that you be your biggest influencer. You understand what I'm saying? You look at yourself and you be your biggest influencer. We got an amens and yeses, they can hear us. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. All righty. So y'all, we have one last topic we're going to hit, and then we're going to be out.
We're going to do it? We're going to do it?
We have two.
We're not going to do it? We're not going to do it.
Want to do both of them? Okay, so we need to decide which one we're going to do.
Hold on.
Let's just do them.
Oh!
If they good, we good.
She stepped on my face. Okay.
All right. Okay. So
we're doing it. We're doing it. Oh God, we're doing it. All right.
Say both. All right. Carter, say both. Here we go. We got it. All righty. Here it is. Things that your mother never taught you, but wish you knew. Things your mother never taught you, but wish you knew. So this was me. Because it's some things I learned when I've been on my own since I was 17. It's some stuff I hear in this world that I wish I knew before the world taught me, or I had to learn through experience. My mom would always say, "Bought experience is the best experience." For the purpose of the lessons, yes. For going through it, So we want y'all to put down in the comments, what are some of the things that look at
This is
these
about to be hilarious. This is about to be hilarious.
all hell.
Exactly. You see how I'm gonna do it?
How long y'all got? Carla, say how long y'all got. Y'all start dropping them down in the comments. What are some of the things? And it's not a disrespect to moms, because the moms on here can be like, here's some stuff I wish I knew. What are some of the things that your mom never taught you that you wish you knew? I'll throw out one of them and then I'm gonna let y'all go and then I'll come back. Credit. I wish I truly understood what the Sam Hill credit was and how freaking important it was going to be to your whole entire spending and financial life.
Mm-hmm.
What? Who came up with it and why? But I wish I really understood it and understood it to the point where I could even explain it and teach it to my children, right? Because it's easy to learn and it's a lot to learn, but it's harder to learn when you are in debt all the way up to your past your eyebrows and your hair follicles. So that would be one of them. Hold on. Tiffany say, Nikki, you better say that. Oh, William says communicating
in the marriage.
Absolutely. Christina says saving money. Yes. Credit says Ashley. I love my mama, just to be clear. I love mine too. She don't
before you dive in. Huh?
I love her.
Home ownership, marriage, legacy, vacation, yeah.
We got credit and budgeting, says Jay. These are some good ones. Thank y'all. Okay. C. What's some things you wish you knew?
How to recover from being disappointed from people.
Oh, let me pass out. I'll come right back.
Ooh,
okay, I gotta pass out again.
That was good. She told me that I was don't ever expect nothing from nobody. Okay. But she didn't teach me. She didn't teach me so what happens when they disappoint you or they how do you bounce back from that? It took me back in the day so long to recover from hurt or being personally hurt by friends or disappointed, when I feel like I wasted a lot of time, but God knew what He was doing because I know what He was doing now. But I wish I knew how to recover from being disappointed.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. That's so good.
Sorry, Mom. Love you.
And it may very well be that our mothers didn't know how to recover. But that's good. How to recover from disappointment. That would probably keep people out of a lot of counseling. Go ahead. You got one, Nicole, you want to throw out there?
Woo!
Come on, Nicole.
Let me tell you, the first thing she taught me was how to be a hard worker. What did she not teach me, and I wish she would have, is to be vulnerable. It took a lot for me to open up. I knew she loved me, but no shade, Mom, but she didn't she was not vulnerable to be like, oh, I love you, or you have a good day, I just want you to know I love you. My mom is stern. She was, you go to work, you get what you want, what you need to get, don't ask nobody for nothing. And so then I get it, and then it's like, oh, it's all mine. So when you do get in a relationship, okay, I'm gonna be,
is hard.
This right here is so transparent for me that when I get in a relationship, I'm not affectionate. I'm not. It's just, that's why so many guys that I did date, we stay in the friend zone. We never cross to I love you or holding hands or hugging.
Yeah,
I felt like my actions showed you that I loved you. I'm here. I'm not giving you no drama. I'm not arguing with you. You should know I love you.
Yeah.
So that's that. And I wish she would have taught me that or told me about it. It'll be easier to let the walls down. Yeah. And it's not just in a romantic relationship. It's in friendships. That's why I said it takes a lot to be a friend. Like, I have to really, really be able to trust you with my heart. And like Cierra said, and when you hurt me, because I'm the type of person, when you hurt me, I'm done. Like, there's nothing you can say. And it can be so simple. You could be like, Nicole, you mad because I took a piece of gum out your car? Yeah, I'm mad. Get out.
Oh, I
that's
love that. Can I say clap, clap for our vulnerability? Can I say clap, clap for the family in the audience? Because listen what they've been saying.
What is it saying?
Christina says relationship advice,
Yeah.
standards and boundaries,
Yes, Tashana.
clear communication with the opposites. Men
Yes.
require respect equal to love for them. Come through. Boundaries. You want to hit that one, see?
What's Cierra Pleasant? Nothing. Our mom was on point, laughing about how to deal with depression. Yeah.
That's why I wanted you to read that.
Yeah.
What you mean? I almost read it. You want to hit that one, Nicole?
Saying no and mean it. My mom doesn't say no. I took on that trait. Yeah, now that's my sister. And her mama will give you the world. She ain't even gotta know you. And she will give you, that's my mama. I love her. Now she told me she loved me. She told me, she told me, she showed me, and she still shows me that she loves me. That's my boo.
See.
All jokes aside, as a mother myself, I'm taking a screenshot of these comments. I've taught my children through what I know as well as my own traumas. I can take all the wisdom I can get. Through my healing, I'm learning more to pass on.
Oh, thanks, Carla.
I'm just in love with everybody and our realness, because our realness is going to help other people while we help each other and get help ourselves.
Amen.
That's Jackie. Is that a
smiley
face?
No, I'm talking about Miss Barbara Burns, Jamidra.
Boundaries, how to love myself first before pouring into others. Girl,
yes.
That's, you know what? That should be before credit on my list.
Yes.
I'm gonna put that number one, Ashley. That's gonna be before credit. Carla Chapman, yes, indeed. Boundaries with ooh.
Yes.
I'm writing that down because we're gonna hit that as a topic. Y'all finish reading that. I'm gonna write that down.
Boundaries with family as well, just because their family means nothing.
Right.
Ooh, baby, that's gonna be a topic. Thank you, Ashley. Ooh, child.
Yep.
Being okay with saying no to the people that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Martha said, "Oh, is this your mama?"
Yeah, my mommy.
Go ahead, read hers.
The importance of loving yourself and knowing that your opinion counts at all the time. She had to learn this as an adult too. Yes, I did.
I was agreeing that your mom is stern.
Oh.
Parenting doesn't come with a handbook. It's definitely learn as you go.
Yes.
And I don't care how many kids you have under that one roof, you cannot parent each child the same.
My mom will tell you.
Quick example before we go on to our last one. I have two sons. They are now 29 and 24. One of them I could punish and say, no phone, he can't go nowhere. That was a party to him because he didn't like people no way. The other one was such an extrovert. You tell him he can't go outside, he can't talk, he can't have no company. His whole life was over. His whole entire life was over. So raised under the same roof, but I couldn't parent them the same way. The rules were the same, but the parenting had to be tailored to who God created them to be. Y'all gonna catch that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My mom is 7.
Go ahead.
My mom, she has 7, and everybody jokes and says she has 2 sets because it's the 4 oldest ones we're in doorsteps. So, and then she waited 10 years later and had the next set. Mm-hmm. But out of the 4 oldest ones, she would say I was her roughest, but I was only rough because of what I saw.
Right.
So when she handled, and you would think because I was the only girl, she would be a little soft. She didn't know. She was stern, but she also communicated differently to my brothers than what she was. Because I think it was more she was stern with me because she didn't really want me to go down the path that some of the stuff that she went through.
Right.
And getting older, I learned that, but like I said, it's still some stuff that I'm not mad at her about it. I was just saying, I wish I would have learned earlier in life than now.
Yeah. You're the only girl of the
first four. Yeah.
Amen. Because you wanted to sneak out.
He's
talking to his cousin. Talking to Nicole. All right, let's give our final thoughts on this one. We have our last one, which we know y'all gonna enjoy. First of all, I have enjoyed everything. This
everyone
is phenomenal first episode. It's gonna keep going higher and higher. So y'all, please join us again. Please share this, talk about it, let everybody know. And thank y'all, because y'all are amazing. Thank you for being so vulnerable. Okay, what are your last thoughts on this, C?
No mom is perfect. The things your mom didn't teach you, you probably observed, and so you'll sort out yourself, and so it helps you grow as a person. I don't regret anything. I have a great mama. She taught me how to love. She taught me how to do a lot of things. So I feel like some people don't have a good relationship with their mom, and so they regret a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But you wouldn't be the person you are today without those lessons that you had to learn along the way. So count it all joy at the end of the day.
That part. And what about you, Nicole?
Hey, I believe in old school. The old school takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. And I had a great village. Yep. We ain't always see eye to eye, Mr. William Harrington, but I had a great village. And I still have a good village. You know what I'm saying? They still educate me. They still be like, Nicole, they correct me when I need to be corrected and stuff like that. So I believe in it takes a village. I mean, I had a lot of, again, Jamedra's, me and her have been friends since I was in daycare. And her mom, back then you could send kids to other people's house and you didn't get mad when they corrected your child, they disciplined your child. And her mom was like that. I was her child. My mom trusted her with all her children. So I still stand behind it takes a village to raise a child.
That part. My last word on it is this: parents are people, and these people had lives, backgrounds, trauma, issues before they became parents. Just because you have a child and it makes you a parent doesn't mean you automatically can vanish away everything you've ever experienced and you go into perfect parent mode. It doesn't exist. You do what you can. You do it how you can. You do it the best you can. And for you, it was the best that you could do. And that's what we have to remember about our parents. Doesn't mean that it's some things we wish we hadn't learned, but it is what it is. All righty. So this last topic, brought to us by Miss Mary Lady on the panel, said you communicate your likes and your dislikes when it comes to sex. See, why do you want to bring this one up, baby? Don't be kicked back.
I was going to say this one, but you leave me in there.
This our last one.
I know.
Miss Martha, it's a lot of people that love you on here. And my mommy is on here. I love you, Emma Sterling. I love you, boo. Get my chicken ready because you know I'm coming. Go ahead.
That question came up because in the beginning of our marriage, you can go watch it on Pleasant Love on YouTube and Instagram. We share a lot of what we didn't understand. Okay, so how do I say I don't like that no more? How do I say I rather this now? Or, that type of conversation. You're like, how do I, or do you just hide away and don't say nothing? I think the church, I'm going to say the church, because we both were raised in the church, does a disservice of not talking about sex in the containment of a marriage, right?
Yes.
You don't have sex when you get married. Don't have sex when you get married. All right. So then when I have sex,
right, I'm married now. How do I have
what do I do? Do I, can you know what I'm saying? So I think, being able to communicate in a healthy way about what you want. I mean, a lot of people end up cheating and all that other stuff that goes along with that because you're not being satisfied sexually. And so I think it's really important to understand how to have a healthy conversation about your dislikes or likes when it comes to sex and in marriage. So yeah, that's where that question came from.
I love the question. I love the honesty with it. And we've discussed it on my other podcast with you and William. Because couples do go through that. And even if you are experienced, you've had sex before, been married before, you haven't had it with that person. So it's a lot of learning of their body and how the rhythm is. And you got to be willing to teach, but you got to be willing to learn too. You can't just be in there giving orders. I don't like that. Go to the left. No. But then when they tell you offended, they can't never get it no more because they done told you it didn't feel as good. No, you got to be open. Just like you're open to teach, you got to be open to learn. Unfortunately, sexual trauma and porno and humping your cousin and your friend when you was 3 and 4, 5 years old is where a lot of people get introduced to sex. So you never really understand what it is. And the fact that you have people telling you don't do it till you get married. But then don't send you with the manual instructions. Well, what do I do when I get married? Because we know that there's a penis. We know that there's a vagina. We know that one goes into the other. But there's rhythms, there's methods, there's positions. There are things that you can do that have nothing to do with the actual entrance. It's some outer feelings, some sensitivities. And then for the men, they got desires and stuff too. And they have visual and things that they want to see. And if we make it hard for our partner to communicate with us that wasn't as good, that didn't feel too good, I liked it better the last time. If you make it hard, you're going to make your sex life awkward. You're going to make your sex life become once or twice a year. You're going to make your sex life become, oh, my partner's in there watching porn. And when they get excited, then they're going to want to come let it off with me. So if we keep it open, if we're honest with it and be open to receive, it's not criticism. Y'all gonna be having sex the rest of y'all life. Let them people tell you can stop doing that because that ain't working.
That ain't working.
I'm gonna need you to do it this way because this worked. Let the people tell you that because I'm not gonna keep coming to your restaurant to eat and this food is nasty. I'll tell somebody they put too much salt, they got too much sugar. Can I get some herbs or something? I'm gonna have to because I can't keep. I'm gonna have to do something. Let's hit the comments and I want to hear your thoughts, Nicole. Miss Martha say, preach. Say that, Nikki. Let's talk real. Preach. Foreplay. Come on, Miss Martha. Hey,
all right, Mama. All right, Mama.
Don't make us bring you on stage now, but that foreplay is everything. Intimacy. Yes. Oh, and because she said that, intimacy and foreplay and sexual intercourse, all of that starts before you go lay down somewhere.
Basically.
It is mental a lot of the times for women, but I've discovered it's mental for a lot of men too. Because if you ain't making them feel like they worth something, and you're always nagging them and you're always on them about something, but you want them to be Hercules, Hercules well. You done cut the poor man down.
You're gonna be a little frog.
Man, you done cut. Well, that was the real nice way of saying it ain't gonna.
Just saying.
That part. Girl, being open to change. Somebody hit this. Hold on. King say, show you right.
Show you right.
Show you right. I'll hit this and then let's get your thoughts, Nicole.
Sexual health education, healthy sexual communication is necessary starting from puberty. Thanks, Mom, for this. If I'm having sex with you, we're talking about what intimacy means to us both. That part. Yep.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it went back to our other question. What didn't your mother teach you? They never had the sex talk. Even when you got of age and they knew you was going. I mean, you don't expect your child to go out there and do it, but you know they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your mom never. The only thing they told you was don't do it. They never told you. I mean, you shouldn't educate the child. I mean, not push her out to do it, but you don't tell her how to do it. Or some parents didn't have that open communication, or the child came to them and say, "Hey, Mom, I did this and it didn't feel right. Is this right?"
But you said something, Nicole. I'm gonna ask y'all this. You said, but you don't tell her how to do it. Why don't you?
No,
there
I'm
was
saying
somebody
that's
that
what I'm saying.
went viral. There was someone that went viral a few months ago because the grandmother, I think it was the grandma, was teaching the granddaughter about sex and oral sex. She wasn't necessarily showing her how to perform it.
Right.
Alexa, stop. sorry y'all, on how to perform it, but she was teaching her about her parts and what
Right.
feel good and people was eating her up for that. But
Right.
why is that wrong to teach them how to do it?
No, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm saying you're never taught that. So how are you gonna be able to bring that to your mate? How are you gonna be like, I never experienced that? You see what I'm saying? If he says, well, I'm more experienced than you are, and then how will he bring it to you and say, well, let's try this, let's try that, and you like, no, I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? It got to be an open communication and knowing, respecting the boundaries. If she say, or if he say, no, we can't try that, then you don't knock them for not being able to try it. Say, okay, let's try to compromise and do something else.
Right. See?
But yeah.
Did you get your question answered, or
you know, y'all had some good points. You know what I'm saying? We've kind of addressed this issue sometimes. Carla says she's going to learn from other places, so it's important to have real conversations based on your kids' maturity level.
Absolutely.
Right.
Most
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because the streets are ready to teach them.
Yeah, the streets are ready. It's all right.
And I'm scared of the streets.
The TV is ready to teach them. Like,
that's what I'm saying about the street.
Internet, social media, TikTok.
It's already imprinted in their mind. So giving them a better, you know, those, they call them not cults, but they call them what you call them, the earthy people, and they have like their own little world, if you will.
You're talking about name.
The community,
right.
The community, where they're so open about their sexuality and they're able to explain like what things are. I think we have to find a way to do that in a healthy way, so that we're more educated to make better decisions about our own bodies. You know what I mean? And of course, in the context of being a Christian and trying to wait till you get married, I know a lot of people who are still waiting, you know, in their 30s. And so when it comes to that, you don't want to taint the mind. That's what people say. I don't want to talk about it because you don't put the idea already been in their mind. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
The idea gonna be putting their mind on a bread commercial on TV.
Period. So it's just like find a way to have a healthy conversation with your teen, with your child, and of course the maturity level. If they're ready to have the conversation, have a real good conversation with them and explain to them what it is. And if they have more questions, be more open. And I would also say pray about it. Like pray God to give you the right words to say, because you don't want to lead your child astray. And of course you're not gonna get everything right. But I think having that open communication with your kids will help prepare them for the world. Now, in a marriage, when you're married and you're trying to say, I don't like X, Y, and Z, or I like this, I think just saying something as simple as, I don't like cheese on my hamburger is the first step before you even get to the bedroom, right? And you acknowledging that your spouse doesn't like cheese on their hamburger. Kind of the same thing, but more in an intimate sense. So I guess being more vulnerable, one, two, and giving more grace to the spouse allows you to have more space to say your dislikes and likes. And then it makes it more fun when you understand. It makes it more enjoyable, more fun when you have that open communication of what you like and what you dislike. And so, yeah.
I would say this, give it how you want to receive it. How would you want someone to tell you that when you do this or you touch them that way, it's not pleasing? Right. If you nasty with it and you disrespectful with it, you're going to take something that could have been beautiful and a great learning experience that could be so mind-blowing in the end and cause issues in your relationship because you did that. Because unfortunately, what you went off on them about that you didn't like, somebody who lonely, willing to do it for free. And willing to take it however they can get it. As bad as you say it is. So give it how you want to, give it how you would like to receive it. How would you like someone to tell you they do and don't like something? And listen, as women, we got all kind of ways we can finesse and say things and build that man up while you're saying it. but we also have ways we can tear them down too.
Mhm.
And men can be the same way. Y'all can be so harsh and so blunt with some of the things that you say. You'll mess up, never get that again because of the way you said it.
Mhm.
So I would say, give it how you want to receive it. Let's get your final thoughts on it too, Nicole. And then we are going to say our goodbyes. It's been an amazing show.
With that also, I say be teachable, because you don't know if you won't like something until you try it. Be teachable. Like, just don't say no. I mean, and then if you try, you don't like it, then you say no. But, or, don't judge or be like, oh, you like that? Oh, you nasty. Or you know what I'm saying? Just be teachable.
Please be willing to try something.
Because if you don't, I mean, some people hold intimacy and sex up on the higher level based off their relationship.
Yeah.
And if you marry them and they really like stuff and adventure, it don't change when you get married, because you, like they told you. And if y'all were both virgins and you discovered things that you like, if it's not detrimental to your health, if it's just not detrimental to your health, why would you
Cierra, you didn't want to talk about this.
It's almost like somebody that only likes chicken tenders or hamburgers. They don't ever want to try steak. You better not try them up in a Chinese restaurant. It's the same thing. And at some point, it's like, baby, how many ways can I cook chicken tenders? Can we please try something different? If you ain't allergic, and it's not gonna hurt you.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. How y'all feel about tonight's show?
It was awesome.
We did it, y'all. We had our first episode.
Hey.
It was wonderful.
Thank y'all so much for coming on.
Absolutely. It was wonderful. What are your last words as we leave Outsea?
Thank y'all for coming on and supporting us. Everybody, my whole family out there. I love y'all so much for coming in and commenting and sharing and liking. I really appreciate it. And I thank y'all. This was a blessing to be on here and just talk. Like, man, I was nervous and I was tired before coming on here. And now I got a little boost of energy. So I thank y'all. And I love you, Nikki, and I love you, Nicole.
I love you too. Nervous where? You had that. Girl, I didn't see it. Great job. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, cousin.
Thank you. Carla said y'all did that. Congratulations on an amazing show. Prayers for many more. Amen. It is okay. Mama, so much beautiful. I'm married now, so God had a plan. Amen. All righty, Cole, what are your final thoughts?
Oh, wow. God. First, I just want to thank God because he blessed me with two sisters that has lifted me up wholeheartedly, sincerely. I love you to everyone that came on and supported, shared, liked, encouraged. Because a lot of people that know me, like I'm a comedian. I like to have fun and I'm blunt, but I don't really do public platforms. Mm-hmm. So for Nikki to help me out of my comfort zone, because like God gave us a vision, and one day we're going to share the testimony of us getting this started. It's unbelievable. Again, thank you everybody that commented and participated and continue to support us, share, keep us in prayer that it'll go smooth like it did tonight. I was nervous and we did it.
Nervous where? Y'all were so amazing.
We did it.
Y'all were so amazing. God is so good.
I love you girls.
I love y'all too.
I can't wait to come to Texas. I'm coming. We're gonna do a live show with all three of us in the same room.
Oh, y'all, that's gonna be phenomenal. I'm gonna take a moment representing all of us to thank all of you who tuned in and who will watch this in the replay. We still got comments coming in the replay. Y'all, thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being honest and vulnerable, for trusting us, and just for allowing us to be who we are That's all we can be. So thank y'all so very much. You got some great jobs, sis.
Thanks, Billy Rob.
Queen. Thank you for always inspiring, educating, and loving all of us. Thank you always. My sister Cierra is so amazing. I'm so proud to have her as a big sister. She absolutely is. Your sister says you did great, sis.
Oh, thanks.
Nicole, you rock. Great job, ladies.
Oh.
Yeah, so thank y'all so very much.
Thank you.
Ooh, I'm
already crying now.
You feel me? It was like first episode. Thank you, God. It was beautiful, and it took a lot to get here and a lot of behind the scenes work, but it was so worth it. Thank y'all so very, very much. And I love you, ladies. We did it. To God be all the glory. And there's so much more to come, y'all. There's so much more to come. So please stay tuned. We still
every Tuesday.
Nick and y'all rocked too. Thank you. Thank you. So we are going to end it here. We pray to see you all next Tuesday. It's going to be every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still got comments coming through. Amen. And amen. The bar is set. Amen. All righty. So we're going to let y'all go. Go have an amazing evening. Queens, I love y'all. Kings and queens out there, keep living your best life, whatever that is. And don't let anybody tell you. Don't let anybody talk you out of. And don't you talk yourself out of being all that God created you to be. Love you guys so much. We are out. Good night.